Welcome to our Hatha flow. Have any props that you need nearby, whether that's traditional yoga props like blocks and straps, or makeshift yoga props like books or toilet paper rolls and tea towels, folded blankets. And I'll meet you on the mat. We're going to start seated today. All right. So if cross-legged does not suit you, you can always sit on your knees as well and have something catch you on the way down, whether that's cushions or a block or something. Often too, sitting cross-legged can be a lot easier if the hips are elevated above the knees. So having a cushion or a folded blanket or towel or a couple of them underneath the sit bones also helps. And then from this position, we let the shoulders relax down the spine. You can do a little bit of wiggling and bring the hands to the legs and soften the eyes or close them completely. As we sit here, let's start to arrive into the room that you're in, arrive onto your mat, arrive into your body. So much takes us outside of ourselves through our days. And that's the push and pull. We draw back in when we can and reconnect. The breath is one of those tools that we can really harness to reconnect to our body. Starting to notice how the breath feels like. Notice the rhythm, the depth. Notice its effect on the body. As we inhale, we expand, we take in, we receive. And as we exhale, we settle. My theme this week is openness, being open to the possibilities, being open to receiving. So see what this brings up in your body. For me, I notice my shoulders come back a little. I breathe a little bit deeper. There's this overall feeling of expansion, of receptivity. Because yes, we do have power over our actions. We have power over our bodies and our lives. And yet we have to agree too that there are other forces always at work. So at some points, sometimes we just have to lay back and receive, be open to what the universe is providing. Open our eyes to the messages, the clues that we get. Let's slowly start moving. As we inhale, we'll bring the arms out to the side and overhead. As we exhale, hands to the heart center. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhaling, breathing and stretching. Exhaling, settling in, drawing back in. One more. And down through the center. When the hands get to the heart center, we set the extra intention to listen to our bodies, move within our pain-free range of motion through today's class. Hold back when things get intense and painful or lightheaded or dizzy, and move forward when the body's asking to. We're going to bring the arms out to the side again, palms up this time. At first, imagine the fingertips being pulled away from you, and then feel how that kind of disintegrates the arms. We're going to plug the arms back in towards the body while keeping the arms outstretched. And then as we breathe, expansion through the collarbones, expansion through the front body and the chest. Head and neck are mobile. Neck is long and the shoulders are coming down, away from the ears. And we just hold here, suspended. Just this simple posture, feeling the difference already. And then we're going to bring the arms behind us. Take hold of the wrists or the forearms or the elbows. Take note of which arm is on top, and then let those forearms kind of rest right on the crest of the hips there. As we inhale again, feel that expansion through the collarbones a little bit deeper this time, getting through those attachments of the pecs and the biceps, through the fronts of the shoulders. And then we'll release and do the opposite arm on top, just for balance sake. Notice any differences. And keep trying those shoulder blades on the back. And then release that. Give it a little shake and wiggle. And we'll just take one fold forward here as you come onto your fingertips, and then let the head and neck just melt between those arms. See if you can anchor yourself down through your sit bones. And take one more breath here. Crawl all the way back up, and then come over onto hands and knees. So hands are set under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll start to flow here through cat and cow. Inhaling, opening that front body, looking up. Exhaling, opening the back body, looking towards the belly button. So just start to flow in your own breath. finding your range of motion, finding what needs to move, what's begging to move within your spine. And you can make some extra movement side to side or barrel rolls if needed. We'll take 3 more rounds of breath here. We move slow and patiently, trusting that the movement that we get here will eventually open us up over time. After that last round of breath, come back to neutral. And then we're going to come into some bird dogs here. So, bird dogs, we reach that left leg out behind us. Optional, reach that right arm out in front of us. And we hold here. Keep the head and neck neutral. Feel the back body working to keep this arm and this leg parallel to the earth. Feel the core working to stabilize cross body. And then release the hand, release the leg. Let's go to the other side. Right leg comes back behind us. Optional, left arm out in front. And feel that back body working all the way from the arm to the back of the shoulder, to the glute, and out through that back leg. And then release the hand, release the leg. Curl the toes under, plant down through every single fingertip, every single knuckle, and lift those knees up a couple inches. Draw the belly button in and hold here. Now, yes, there is some action here. We're actively pushing the floor away. We're curling the toes under. It feels like work. But we will balance that out. Slowly start to straighten the legs, bring the hips back, adjust your stance, come into a downward facing dog. As we press into every single finger, every single knuckle in down dog, see if you can soften the heart. Let's bend the knees again. Come back into that bear pose. Draw the belly button up. Press the hands away for 3, for 2, for 1. And then back into downward facing dog again. We'll do that one more time. Coming forward, knees hovering off the floor, pressing that floor away, curling through the back body for 3, for 2, for 1. And then down dog. You can walk out your down dog, do whatever you need to do here. Make sure every finger is working. It'll take some of the pressure off the wrists. The hands can get stronger. And then allow for greater opening through the heart. Slowly walk to the front of the mat. Come into a forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as needed. Let the head and neck go. And let go here. Shake the head no, nod it yes. For all our forward folds, you can bend the knees as much as you need to. And then pressing into the feet, rocket yourself all the way up to standing. And come to Tadasana, mountain pose. In this Tadasana, we're going to take either the elbows or forearms behind us or interlace the fingers behind us. Roll the shoulders back. Note which arm or hand is on top, and then reach those fists down towards the earth or expand through the collarbone. You can stay here. You could start to bring those arms away from your back body a little bit. And now either with the elbows or the hands joined, we exhale, fold forward, bend through the knees a little bit, hinge through the hips, and see if you can bring those arms up and over. Inhale, come all the way up, pressing into the feet. Release the hands, Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel the change of energy through the arms, through the front body. And then same thing with the other arm on top. So if you took the elbows or the forearms, we'll cross them that way. If we took the hands, we have the opposite thumb on top. We roll the shoulders back, expose that heart center, and then extend through those arms if they are extended. Open through the chest, maybe even pulling the arms away from the back body. Hold there. And now either hold there or bend the knees slightly, hinge through the hips and fold forward here. Bringing the arms up and over if they're straight, or keeping them linked if we've got the elbows bent. Inhale all the way back up. Release the hands, Tadasana. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins or thighs, look up halfway, lengthen the spine, and fold. We'll do that 2 more times. So press against the thighs or the shins, look forward, and imagine pressing the sit bones further back and drawing the heart even further forward. Fold. One last time. Beautiful. And fold, fingertips to the earth. We're going to step that left leg back behind us. Bend that right knee so the right knee is right above the right ankle. And come on to fingertips, or if you have props and blocks, you can come onto those blocks to bring the floor closer to you. Extend through that back leg. And now with all this muscle energy through the legs, we're going to scissor them towards each other and see if we can draw the heart even further forward here. So again, coming up onto fingertips, lengthening through that body even more. If that back knee needs to come to the earth, go for it and pat it if you'd like. We're in this runner's lunge. We feel the front of that left thigh, the hip flexor getting a nice stretch here. Imagine that stretch extending from the knee all the way up through the heart center. Lengthen even more. If you want, you could take the floor or your blocks away and let those arms dangle. Hold that length. If you want even more, you could reach those arms forward at an angle. And now the stretch goes from the foot all the way out through the fingertips. Beautiful. And now hands come back down. Left hand walks to the left. Maybe it's on the block. Right hand comes to the back of the pelvis. We lean and we twist here. Keep that back leg nice and active. Maybe that right arm can come up for the last few breaths. Keep the heart open. And then release that arm and come back to a plank pose. Either hands and knees, elbows and knees, hands and toes, or anything in between. And we hold here. Even though we are using that core, we are efforting here. See if we can find softness, openness, receptivity, especially through the face, the heart center. And then drop those knees down. Shoulder flow 4 times. Exhaling, bringing the hips back towards the heels. Inhaling, drawing the nose forward along the floor, elbows out to the side, press up. 3 more of those. Exhale, hips come back. Inhale, hips stay high as we drag the face along the floor, elbows out to the side, and back up. How many muscles can we recruit around the shoulders to create a nice smooth movement here? And the last one, press all the way up, and then come down onto the abdomen. The arms are going to reach back behind us, palms facing up. Roll the shoulders on the back. For this one, toes are going to stay on the floor. As we inhale, we lift the heart off the floor. We reach those fingertips back, and we exhale, come down. 3 more. Inhale. And down. Come all the way up. And release down. Last one, we're going to stay up there. Reaching those fingertips back, activating the back of the arms, drawing those shoulder blades on the back, widening through the collarbones, and extending through the top of the head. And then release the hands down and come into your home pose. So whether that's downward facing dog, child's, or puppy, choose which one allows you to have that spine, that long spine, to feel grounded, to feel reset. And then next inhale, left leg will step forward. It might take more than one step. And we come into our runner's lunge again, coming on to fingertips or blocks and really pressing back with that right leg so that you feel that nice stretch through the front of the right hip. Scissor the legs towards each other, and as you melt into the pose, make sure the left knee is right above that left ankle. Then we go for length through the upper body, drawing the heart further forward, feeling solid and stable through the legs, feeling free through the upper body. Settle in here. Always an option to come down on that back knee. Now, if you'd like, you can take the floor or blocks away and just dangle the arms here. You're still at an angle. Your heart's still drawing forward. That back leg is still anchoring you back. Maybe you go even further more and bring those arms out in front of you at an angle. Long line from fingertips out through that back foot. And then we'll bring the arms down. Bring that right hand to the right on a block or the floor. Left hand to the back of the pelvis and twist. Open up the collarbones, draw those shoulders on the back. Keep the back leg active. Maybe for the last few breaths, left arm reaches up. And then come back to center. Step the back leg forward. One step, two steps, or many steps, and fold into your forward fold. Parallel the feet. Bend the knees nice and deep. Come up into a chair pose. Lots of weight into the heels. Lots of bend through the knees and the hips. And then draw those front ribs down towards the pelvis to really lengthen through the torso. If you'd like to add a little, you can bounce a little here, getting a little deeper with every exhale. If you'd like to add more, you can bring those arms out front and exhale, sweep them back. And inhale, sweep them forward. We'll do 8 more of those. 7, 6, get that heat going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up to standing. And exhale, release into Tadasana, mountain pose again. Feel the change in the body. This time we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back of the head and neck. And almost as if we're trying to draw the head out of the neck, we lift up through the base of the skull. First, let those elbows just be natural, and then they can start to open up as wide as they feel comfortable. Lean back into your hands, gazing upwards, and breathe into that front body. Sunny day pose. Reach the arms up to the sky and exhale, fold forward. Look up halfway, lengthen, pressing the heart forward. And exhale, fingertips to the earth or blocks. Step the right leg back behind you. This time, right knee comes down onto the floor, so you can pad that back knee if needed. And we're going to press ourselves up onto that front thigh. So with the body upwards here now, upright, we'll feel even more of the stretch through the front of that right thigh. Draw that left leg back in towards the body, and then lunge the whole apparatus, this entire thing forward, not just that right hip. Left hip. Maybe the right arm comes up to the sky. Maybe the left hand can draw that right wrist even taller and over to the left. Nice. And then coming back up through center, hands at the heart or on the thigh. Can we curl the back toes under and lift that back knee off the floor for a high lunge? Hands can stay at the thigh, at the heart, or reaching up for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hands down to the earth. Step back into your plank pose and settle. Drop the knees down 4 times, shoulder flow again. Exhale, hips come back. Inhale, drag the nose forward. Kind of a reset through movement. Mindful, repetitive movement. One last time. Beautiful. And then we come all the way down to the abdomen again. This time arms reach back And both the heart and the legs will come up off the ground on the inhalation. Inhaling, drawing them up. Exhaling down. Let's do 3 more. Exposing that heart every time we come up, feeling that back body working. And after this last time, we hold it up there. Superheroes flying through the sky. Press those hands up towards the sky. Draw the shoulders on the back. Lengthen through the head and neck. Point out through those toes. And then release the hands down. Downward dog, child, or puppy. Right foot will step forward, taking 1 step, 2 step, or many. And then that back knee comes to the earth. We press ourselves up onto that right thigh, and then we draw those legs in towards each other and take the whole apparatus of the hips forward, keeping that right hip in line with the left and finding that nice stretch through the left side of the body. Maybe that left arm comes up to the sky. Maybe the right hand can draw that left wrist up and over to the right. Come back to center, and either hands at the heart or hands on that front thigh. We curl the back toes under and lift that back knee up off the floor. Stay here, or you could reach those arms up for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release the hands down, step forward into a forward fold, and release. Bend through the knees nice and deep. Lots of weight in the heels. This time, just bring the torso so that it's parallel to the earth. You're looking at the earth here, hands at the heart center. And now press the heart into the thumbs. Sit those hips back. Can you keep the same leg position as you tilt the body up, keeping that heart exposed? Sit here in chair for 4, a little deeper for 3. Keep those shoulders back for 2. Keep the face soft for 1. And inhale all the way up, reach. Exhale, release the hands down into Dandasana again. Inhale, reach those arms up, and let's hold Urdhva Hastasana. So in Urdhva Hastasana, our arms are in a Y shape, enough so that the arm bones can drop into the shoulder sockets. The head and the neck are mobile. There's lots of space between the ears and the shoulders, and the backs of the shoulder blades are pressing into the heart center, lifting you up. Beautiful. 1 more breath here. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Look up halfway, lengthen Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fingertips to the earth. And we'll step that left leg back behind us and spin the left heel down to the earth. Come to a heel to heel or heel to arch stance. Keep that right knee bent as you come all the way up into our warrior 2. So find your leg position, power through that back knee, bend through that right knee. And then we're going to take the hands behind the back of the skull again. Open those elbows up wide and hold here in our warrior two. We're gazing to the long edge side of the mat. And you could even interlace the fingers and lean back a little bit into those hands. Keep that back leg strong, that front knee bending. And now keeping the right hand where it is, take the back hand down the back leg and lift up and away, pointing that right elbow up to the sky as you walk the left hand down the left leg. Maybe you look up to the sky. And then slowly straighten that front leg, release the right arm, parallel the feet. And we'll come to a forward fold here, hands on the hips, get nice and tall, exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Hands come to the earth underneath the shoulders or onto blocks. We might stay here, we might bend the elbows deeper as we fold deeper. Slowly press yourself back up. Walk to the front of the mat and step back into your plank pose. Come all the way down to the mat on your abdomen. This time you can stay with that locust prep with the arms reaching back, or if you'd like, you can take hold of the elbows or the hands again behind the back of the pelvis. Interlacing the fingers, draw those shoulders up off the ground. And this time, head, heart, and legs all lift as we extend those arms into Shalabhasana Locust. Hold here for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release all the way down, hands under the shoulders and downward facing dog. Maybe a puppy or a child's pose feels more natural at this point. Let's step the left leg forward. Spin the right heel down this time. Come all the way up into your warrior two legs. Heel to arch or heel to heel stance. We bend through that left knee. We power up through that back leg. And we take the hands behind the back of the head and neck again. Open them nice and wide. Open those elbows wide. And perhaps you even interlace the fingers and cradle the back of your head with your hands. That left knee is still pressing left. The pelvis is still opening. That back leg is still powering back out through the outer edge of that back foot. Nice. We'll keep the left hand where it is. Take the right hand down the back of the right leg and start to walk back as you tilt that left elbow up to the sky. Maybe looking up to the sky. Keep that left knee bent. And then come all the way back up. Straighten both legs, parallel the feet again. So this time you can either take hold of your elbows or forearms behind the back, or you could take hold of the hands. Or if you'd like to try something new, you could come into reverse prayer with either the backs of the hands touching, or we flip those hands around and come into a prayer pose behind our back body. You might stay here or start to fold forward, hinging at the hips, eventually releasing the head and neck. Bring a little bit more weight into the fronts of the feet, not quite to the point where you fall forward, but so that the legs can become perpendicular to the earth. And then come all the way back up. Spin to the front of the mat, release the arms, and step forward into your forward fold. Release. Bend the knees deep. Come into your chair pose. This time, either hands at the heart, or if you'd like to try something a little more challenging, a little different, interlace the fingers behind the back of the head and the neck. Lean that head back into the hands and hold your chair here, sitting deep into your seat, lots of weight into the heels. Keep those front ribs drawing down towards the pelvis. And then inhale, come all the way up, reach tall. Exhale, fold forward. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down, step the right leg back behind you. Spin that right heel down. Come all the way up into warrior two, this time arms outstretched. Bend through that left knee, flip the palms up to the sky. Feel that expansion through the collarbone. And then either taking the elbows behind you or the hands, interlacing them, we're going to dive diagonally into the inner edge of that left thigh to a humble warrior. You could always do supported humble warrior two by reaching those hands out onto the earth, or you can keep those arms behind the body, releasing the head and the neck, and resting that left shoulder on the left thigh. Release the arms wherever they are. Spin back to the front of the mat, step back into plank. Optional to come down and try that locust pose again. Interlacing the fingers behind the back of the pelvis or taking the elbows or forearms. Inhaling, peeling the heart and the legs off the floor. Extending those arms if you've got the hands. Shoulders on the back for 3, 2, 1. Release the hands down, come into downward facing dog, child's or puppy. Next inhale, right leg will step forward, left heel spins down to the earth. We come up into Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2 again. Reach those arms out, bend through the right knee, power up through that back leg, then flip those hands up to the sky and feel that expansion through the collarbones and the chest. And then we'll take those arms behind us, either taking the elbows, the forearms, or the hands. Angle your body diagonally and fold forward, humble warrior, resting that right shoulder along the inner edge of that right thigh, or maybe coming into supported warrior, supported humble warrior with the hands on the ground. And then release the hands down. This time we're going to step back into a child's pose. Release the knees down, toes together, hips back towards the heels, and let go. Slowly make your way forward onto your abdomen again. We're going to make our way into broken wing. So gaze towards your left side and stretch your right arm out next to you in a T formation. Come up onto the left fingertips. Pick up the left leg and start to cross it behind you. So you come onto your right hip. You're stretching out through the front of that right shoulder. You might bend through the left foot leg and bring the foot to the earth. And then slowly release. Come back to center. You can gaze to the right side now. Stretch that left arm out in a T. Come onto the right fingertips. Pick up the right leg. Reach the right leg towards the left. It might hang there. It might bend, bringing the foot towards the earth. And then release back to center. Press back up onto hands and knees, keeping the hips above the knees. Walk those hands forward into a puppy pose. So those hips stay high in puppy pose and the heart and head melt between the hands. Slowly walk back up. And we're going to come all the way up onto the knees here. If you need padding under those knees, you can put a folded blanket there or some folded, you can double fold your mat. And we're going to be coming into camel. So hands will come to rest on the crest of the hips, the heels of the hands on the crest of the hips, fingertips pointed down, and just relax here for a moment. Elbows come out to the side, shoulders come down the back. And now we're going to roll those shoulders back and start to draw the elbows towards each other. And this may be where we stay. Just that work, drawing those elbows towards each other, and then grounding the hips down towards the knees into the earth. Lift up through the heart. Maybe you start to imagine a string at the center of the heart, drawing it up, 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 as you start to arc over an imaginary cylinder behind you. The head of the neck can stay tucked, or the neck can open if it feels comfortable. The thighs are still perpendicular to the earth. And then slowly we come back out of it, chin first. And then everything can settle down. Maybe you sit back onto your heels for a moment. Beautiful. We're going to do that one more time. So coming back up onto the knees. This time we're going to play around with one arm coming up at a time. So first get those heels of the hands back on the crest of the hips, fingers pointing down towards the buttocks. Roll the shoulders back, draw those elbows towards each other, ground down from the heel of the hand into the hips, all the way down to the earth, and lift that heart. This might be where you stay again. Otherwise, maybe you start to lean back, imagining that heart lifting, lifting, lifting. If you're good here, take that right arm, bring it back and around like a backstroke to touch the right heel. Maybe you curl the toes under and then reach the left arm up to the sky. And then we're going to switch, bringing the left arm back like a backstroke to touch the right left heel. And then right arm comes up to the sky. And then we release both hands back to the hips. Bring the head up, bring the body up, and sit back. Come into a child's pose. Make sure you have something to rest your head on. And then slowly sit back up. So we're going to get ready for a Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined cobbler's pose. So you can always do this on the earth, laying back down on the earth. Keep the knees bent at first. If you do have props and would like even greater opening through the upper body, you could always form a T with your blocks. And as you come down, the bottom of that um, long, long block that comes between your shoulder blades comes to around mid back level. And so you adjust yourself so that you come down that block down the middle of your back, top block at any level to support the head. And then arms can come out to the side. So whether you're all the way on the earth or down on blocks, feet to begin with are hip width apart, knees falling in towards each other, shoulders falling back towards the earth. And now, if you'd like to take this further, we bring the feet together and let the knees fall apart into that Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose, also known as butterfly. If those legs need something to catch them on the way down, you can stuff some blankets or blocks to catch the thighs so that they can rest on something. And once you've gotten to that position, you can close your eyes. With every inhalation, imagine the lotus flower of your heart opening, blossoming. Every exhalation, it stays open. and just further integrates all that sunshine, all those nutrients it's drawing up from its roots. This pose is so receptive. Feel that heart center opening, receiving all the light from the sunshine, receiving all the benefits of your practice. Hold here for 3 more long breaths. Every inhalation opening that flower even more. And then slowly help those knees back together. And very carefully, if you are on blocks or props, can take them off to the side and come back down onto your back. Keep the knees bent, knees coming in towards each other. And let that pelvis settle. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Open that right knee to the right for a number 4 pose. Perhaps you stay here. Perhaps you draw that left leg in towards you a little more. Bring that left foot back down to the earth. Pick up the hips, shift them to the right slightly, and then let the legs fall to the left, just as is. You might open that right arm up to the right, keeping the right shoulder on the earth. Come back up to center, release the legs, and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Open that left knee to the left. You might stay right here. You might start to draw that right leg in towards you. And then slowly release that right foot to the earth. Pick up the hips, shift them to the left, and let the legs fall to the right, just as is. You might reach out through that left arm and keep that left shoulder on the earth. And then slowly all the way back up to center. Release the knee, legs, and do whatever you need to do to clear that out. If there's any other posture that you need to do before your final relaxation, go for it. So maybe another hug, a happy baby, a bridge, a twist. And then slowly you can start to make your way into your final relaxation. So that might be a traditional shavasana, outstretched on your mat, palms up to the sky. It might be on your side, it might be on your front or legs up the wall, legs draped over a couch. Or maybe even in a meditative seat. Wherever you choose, settle in again and set the intention of being fully open and ready to receive the benefits of your practice. Trust in the body's ability to take in this information and integrate it on all levels. And our body's ability and continual desire to always come back towards balance. We put in the empowered action. And then we make ourselves open to the possibilities. Please stay here for as long as you can, as long as you wish, and soak in all that good stuff that you've gotten flowing. Make sure you thank yourself before you leave your mat today. Thank your body. Thank your mind and spirit. And I thank you for joining me. I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. And let's see what happens. How much better can it get? The light in me bows to the light in you.